Tonight's episode is sponsored by our good friends at Vape and Ape, where they want to evolve the way you experience cannabis.
With state-of-the-art hardware and 100% cannabis-derived formulations, these high terpene extract disposables will get you where you need to go.
And make sure you check out this summer's limited edition strain, Tropicana Cookies and Gelato Dream.
And also for you rosin lovers, Vape and Ape does a limited drop of hash rosin disposables each month.
And right now, they are running a collab with Peachy's Purple Milk.
So find yourself a retailer at www.vapeandape.com/store-locator.
And check out their Instagram page at vapin__ape.
Well, since you love it so much, yeah, we've seen you do a lot of things.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah.
What is everything you guys have seen me do? Are you guys liking my girl content or my what
Well,
kind of content do you guys?
We didn't watch the whole cowgirl. We saw the previews for the three cowgirls.
That does look like a damn fun scene, though.
So that was a fun scene, and now that you guys mentioned that scene, that was like a really special scene to me because first of all, I love Brittany Cade and I love Jade Venus, and also I don't know if you guys know the history of the Best Trans Newcomer Award, but I believe that it's only been given out 3 times, and I think it's only been given out to Brittany, me, and Jade. Don't quote me, but I do believe that it's a fairly new award, and it's only been given out 3 times. So I felt like that was like a special production. It was pretty hot.
That's awesome.
Yeah, if it was
for Trans Angels.
the last 3 award winners, that's pretty. That's special. That's kind of a.
It was a special. I hope that the fans appreciate it. I was looking at some of the comments and stuff like that. It's a mixed bag, but you can't please everyone. I know that I had fun, and I know me and the girls had fun.
Welcome, fellow lushes. Come on in, pull up a bar stool, and enjoy some cocktails with Dimples and the Beard.
I'm going to reset the clock. And we're off. Welcome back to another episode. We should have a Patreon for what happens before we actually
This is true. We're
say, okay, this one's officially the official intro. So welcome back to another episode of Cocktails with Dimples and the Beard. We got a beautiful lady for us
already. We're already off the rails.
Well, we were, but they're not going to see that unless they pay to the Patreon. We could get ourselves canceled with the Patreon. That'd be fun. We just put everything. Well, we can't get canceled. You have to be famous to get canceled. You can't be canceled if nobody's watching you to be. But hey, by the time this airs,
we'll be there.
5,000 YouTube subscribers. We're almost there.
Thank you. I got a couple over the weekend.
Did you? Good job.
Let me open that tavern.
Opened a tavern.
And we'll go from there.
I look like I've been drinking. Maybe I just look like I've been in the sun. I don't know. I have been in the sun. I spent a nice weekend in the sun. And when I say in the sun, I mean.
So you have no.
In the sun.
Bikini lines.
I don't. No. I'll tell you what.
Tell me what.
I'm not going to spill the beans about everything that happened on the greatest weekend of my entire life. But I am going to tell you that it's true. Sunning the butthole.
Wow. Okay. So let's get into that just for a second.
Okay. Ask away.
Did you go on your back and then
I forgot to start the clock again.
Put your feet up by your head? No. Sun it?
No. I laid on my stomach and I had my wife spread my butt cheeks for me. So no, I didn't.
That woman does not get paid enough.
No, I know. She doesn't know what she signed up for.
She
keeps thinking that
she's a little angel from above.
Our clock I think our clock is dead. Oh man.
We ran it to the ground.
Our clock is dead. It doesn't work no more. Oh well, we're gonna have to free ball this one.
I think basically you just
keep track of time.
Operator user. So
anyway.
All right. So you want to explain what you're talking about? You didn't just sunlight your bunghole.
No, we took a trip to Camp NCN. If you're in our area at all, maybe you know what it is.
Do we know what that stands for? Or is it just
no clothes necessary? So we did some naked camping and we loved it. And we're going back.
Okay, so you camp naked. I get it. You could be in your cottage or whatever, tent, whatever, naked all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What about when you went in off to the beach?
Naked.
Both of you?
Yeah. It took her a little while longer to warm up, but
Yeah.
once she warmed up, yeah, we were both naked.
Did you go inside and have dinner naked
No,
in the restaurant,
there's not a restaurant.
the bar,
The bar, yes, I was completely naked in the bar.
ordering drinks?
Yes,
How'd that go?
fantastic.
Where do you keep your money?
You don't. It's a cool thing. Look, see, I thought for sure I'm gonna Camp
Because those
NCN.
50 cents would have been killer.
Camp NCN. I want you guys as our sponsor because I'm gonna tell you what. Marv, the man who owns this place, has got life by the balls.
Marv.
So Marv, he has Party Central, which is the bar there. And I'm thinking, oh fuck, we're gonna have to bring a bunch of money. It's gonna be be Chicago prices for drinks. No, you bring your own fucking drink. You don't care. We went up there with fucking cocktails pre-made every night. Just fucking drank those. If you want a beer, he's got a few beer. But so next time we go, we're just gonna slap 20 down on the bar right at the beginning and be like, this is your tip for like not that way if we need something. We don't have to worry about tipping you every time, because you don't want to have to deal with cash, but
You don't.
But-
you don't.
not only that, Marv, my man,
Marv. Can we cheers to Marv?
cheers to Marv. Marv had the greatest line I heard the whole weekend.
Oh,
What did he say? He said,
I hope you remember because I wasn't there.
he goes to the Dominican Republic so he can lay on his back and not get fucked up. So he can lay on his back and fuck up. And what he meant by that was $35 prostitutes on the beaches of the Dominican Republic. And he fucks up.
Wow. Wow.
Marv, the man. All I got to say.
Good for Marv.
Yeah. He's got it. But he's getting old. So I think there's a business opportunity there, if you know what I mean.
Let's
We could transition the profits we're making from this into campground ownership.
just buy it.
So,
You might want to, sell early and just to relax the last couple of years of his
we give him
life.
$105. We probably get the whole place. That's $3 on the beaches of the Dominican Republic. Anyway.
Oh, Marv. Well, we'd love to sit and chat the whole time about you, Marv, but hopefully you have liked. I am really struggling with words today.
I got you,
Like
Marv.
and subscribe and comment about Marv and us and Marv and how we're going to live our life out, just hanging out with Marv,
We're gonna
literally
Fuck up.
hanging out. But we better not keep a pretty lady waiting.
So without further ado, Leilani Li. So
How are you guys?
Good. How are you? Thank you for joining us, Leilani Li.
Yes, I'm doing good.
I
Just
don't think
trying to
we
get
can-
all situated.
I don't think we can get very far without asking
Thank you.
exactly what you're wearing tonight.
I am wearing a little summer dress from this company called Skims.
Okay.
Okay. I'm trying to figure out the pattern. Is that a bone?
At first, I thought it was a sword going down your chest.
But I saw the arm.
I think it's just like it's like some kind of a design. I don't know. It's a good question.
Okay. Well, it looks
It's one of those-
fantastic.
Thank you. It's one of those designs where you look at it and they ask you, what is it that you see?
Yeah. It's like, what do they call those things when you go to the Rothschild test or whatever, the ink blot test?
Ooh.
When you're like trying to guess what they are.
No, I'm nervous to say what I think it sees because it's going to tell you about my.
I see like a dragging or something. There's like other stuff too. I don't know if you guys can see. There's like a lot of different like figures and stuff on it.
I'm not gonna lie. I stopped paying a lot of attention to the dress when I noticed it was see-through.
But there's nothing to see.
Well, yeah, I know, but I'm a dude. I mean, that's enough.
So do
So
you?
what,
I'm sorry.
I said, so what's going on tonight?
Well, that's what we're here to find out, just to see what's going on in your journey in life and what brought you to this point. And we can't thank you enough to share it with us.
Well, yeah, well, I definitely appreciate you guys having me on tonight. So, as far as like my journey into the adult entertainment industry,
Well, let's start with fashion because we started with the dress and you kind of started in fashion and we had to ask, how's my fit? The cool kid told me to ask, how's my fit?
let's see.
It says punish her and it's the Punisher spanking somebody.
I like that concept. What is she wearing? Like a cat suit?
Yeah, I believe she's in the cat suit.
That's a pretty hot moment. I can
Yeah.
kind of not see. I love it.
I passed the
So I would
test.
say, yeah. And what about you, Madam X? Okay,
but that,
I like both your guys' fits.
but that's Madonna.
I see her. Yes, Madam X.
The queen.
She is the queen.
Have you been to any of her concerts, any of her tours?
I have. I've been to about a half a dozen.
Oh, nice.
She,
She had one. She's still on tour, or did she just recently wrap it up?
I think she's wrapped up.
Yeah,
I did.
I missed her, but I had a friend who went to go see her.
Have you seen her ever?
I've never got to go see her, but she's one of my icons. You know, the cone bra moment. It's so iconic. I'll never forget it.
Okay, so is that, I get it. It's a unique fashion thing, but being in the fashion world, what is that something you'd wear out, or is that was just for show, right? For like
Yeah,
stage?
I think that as an entertainer, that was like, you know, like a piece. When you're entertaining and you want to like wow the crowd, I think things like that are pretty appropriate. But like for like a night out, I don't think you should wear like a
It might hurt
bra.
somebody.
You
be
might
be knocking your food over and knocking drinks over.
Now, if you want to like steal the show and you want everyone to look at you and you want attention, that would definitely do it. But if you're just trying to have a casual night and you want to be taken seriously by your date, I don't think you should show up with a cone bra.
So what drew you to fashion were you into fashion as a kid?
I was so when I was younger, I always expressed myself through like before I was like assertive and vocal, I expressed myself through like my fashions. And it was something that I always noticed on other people as well. Not like normal people, but just like celebrities and how they put this together, they put that together. And I was like, wow, they really know how to dress. And then I went deeper into it and I was like, well, no, they're not dressing themselves. They have stylists and they have these people in these fashion houses who use them as muses and things like that. So it kind of just drew me into it. Fashion, entertainment, it all ties into it. And so like I think that my first dive into like entertainment and things like that was the fashion of it all.
Was that kind of was that kind of a thought possibly to be a stylist in Hollywood?
Maybe not in Hollywood. I did want to be like a fashion designer, and
Yeah.
I wanted to be a model. Then I was like, you know, I don't know if there's going to be longevity in that. And then at the time, I didn't think that it was possible. So I was like, you know what, I should get into the fashion. And so then I got into fashion, and then I didn't lose interest, but I think you have to have like a passion and a really strong creative drive to want to continue with being innovative in that type of a market. So I kind of like took a step back and realized that I can appreciate fashion, but as far as like contributing to it, I think I'll contribute as with my looks, but I don't think I'm gonna create the next the tweed, whatever's so famous. I think Chanel, yeah. So you know, like something famous. I'm not going to contribute in that sense. So I just appreciate it from afar now.
Instead of making a pretty dress, you're just going to make the dress prettier by wearing it.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's easier too. Less stress.
Yeah.
So who were you kind of, I think in high school, like back in high school where when you were getting into it, so who were you like dressing like or fashioning yourself off of to be like, I want to look like them?
At the time, I don't think I really had like a person that I really emulated. But if I was to like if I look to anyone like their fashions, you know, like Kim Kardashian. I mean, she's so hot and everything about her is just so fashion forward. And I know that at the time people didn't take her so seriously, but I've always taken her seriously. So she's like one of my muses. Naomi Campbell is another one, which is funny because Kim Kardashian is actually inspired by Naomi Campbell. So I probably should have said Naomi Campbell first. So like Naomi Campbell, Rihanna, Kim Kardashian, those are like the fashion girls for me.
Yeah.
Well, and they can afford like the best stylists. So you're getting the latest.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm.
So you don't have to hire one, you just copy them because they're paying for it.
To an extent, but you know, most stylists do come from the LGBT community. Like stylists, as far as like clothing, fashion, and makeup, they usually already are my peers, and we all kind of have like that innovative look or eye already. So
yeah,
it's all coming from the source.
We are not driving the fashion world. I can tell you that.
That's okay.
We still wear cargo shorts, so.
as long as you rock them and rock them confidently, I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think that the most important thing about fashion is to wear it and wear it confidently.
Yeah.
Oh, I do.
I do like it that we got it straight from a
Yeah,
fashionista though, that our cargo shorts are okay as long as we rock them.
I feel like they're coming back. I feel like like jean shorts, cargos, they're all coming back. You know, fashion is just an endless cycle. So
Right.
you
Really is.
you can be wearing the same thing on and on and on and on, and at one point it will be on trend.
What is the cringiest thing guys like us wear? What should we absolutely avoid? If you could give us one fashion tip.
Shirts that I mean, you know, as men get older, they, you know, get a little bit more on the midriff, which is no problem. I'm not judging. I think I do. I love it. It's more to love. But I don't like the guys who wear the shirts that they want to hold on to their youth, so they are still wearing that size medium or whatever, and it's just not working down there. That is the worst to do. You need to make sure that your shirt is appropriately proportioned in size to cover you.
Yes.
And it should be bigger more so than smaller.
You should be bigger, yes.
If you're accentuating muscles, smaller's okay. If you're accentuating
She wasn't
midriff,
she wasn't referring to muscles when she was talking about us, just so you're clear.
If you want to accentuate your muscles, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want to just, like, you know, give a proportionate moment without looking too awkward, you want to make sure that you are wearing size appropriate garments.
There we go.
So what about the guys that have a six-pack and then they wear a small so they can? Is that okay, or?
I think it depends on the place. Like, sometimes it's just like, can you breathe? You know, and it's just like,
Right.
we get it. You have muscles. Like,
Yeah.
I think for all men, size appropriate is the way to go. I think maybe about 10 years ago, skinny jeans and a silhouette on a guy was nice. But I think that, like, when I look at like fashion trends these days, I feel like everyone's wearing like these huge thrifted things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah.
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 It's nice. It's perfect.
So I've never ever, but are skinny jeans still in?
Again, anything is in as long as you're rocking it with confidence. But if you are looking at a trend report, I don't think they're on the trend report.
Did you like skinny jeans, or were you like back to what you just said?
Just to let you guys, honestly, to be candid, I wore skinny jeans before they were popular and I got made fun of. So yeah, I love them. And sometimes I want to put them on to this day, but I'm like, no, you have to wear the cargo pants now. Cargo shorts and cargo pants those are the things. Yeah. And jeans, a lot of denim said.
We always get a bit of information every time we do one of these podcast episodes. We always get a bit of information that works well for us. And this is that bit. Like you saying cargo shorts are okay is
Love it.
Well, good. I'm glad that I can contribute to this fashion sense.
And I'm confident when I'm whipping out, do you have this? Yep. In this pocket, I do.
Right.
Yep, in this pocket, I got that. I'm set.
I have one more bit of advice for fashion. My friend just related to me. Make sure that you guys always have a piece. You always want to make sure you have a fashion piece. That one statement moment, rather it be like a hat or your Madame X shirt, you know, or your hat a statement piece and your shirt's a statement piece, you know, and make sure it's designer, like Supreme or something trendy. So they just know that even though you're not decked out in designer, you still have your pieces.
You still know what's what.
Yeah, exactly.
We're keeping a pulse on it.
You're gonna have to
exactly.
You're gonna have to send us a list of what's what, so we know what's what before.
I will. I'll definitely let you. I'll keep you guys up to date on what's what.
You're not getting it from me.
I don't think this falls on a killer brand list anywhere.
What are your guys' brands to wear?
Whatever fits the best.
So I have another question. If you guys had a limitless budget right now, and you guys could go in and just grab all types of fashionable pieces that you always desired to have, what would you get?
I would probably buy a shitload of Jordans.
Okay.
Because because I didn't want to have just one pair, so I just never dabbled in it because I thought I would get addicted.
Yeah. Hmm.
So yeah,
Jordan's are, that's
Yeah,
a nice thing. I like.
I was big into the shoes for a while too. I do own a lot of pairs of shoes with Converse and Vans, but
Okay.
I've gotten myself away from that because I realized that even though I own them all, I only wear one pair. You know, you just continuously wear the one pair, and then all the rest of them just. But mine would be shoes too. I do love shoes. So
Yeah. So
and
you like Converse? I've seen the new style of Converse. It's like a chunkier heel with like
hmm
a big star in the back.
yeah,
I kind of like them.
yeah.
They kind of revamped the way they look.
Yeah, they're staying on top of things. I mean, they've been around for so long, and the look has been here for so long, and like you said, it cycles because it has gone away, and where nobody was wearing them, and then it comes back. But it feels like it's
Yeah.
really back now. Like you see a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
Converse.
Yeah, I think that right now we're in the 2K era again. So we're all back in business, guys.
I like it. I like it.
All right. Wow. So you did you go to school for fashion at all out of high school?
I did. I did some college.
Oh.
I did a little bit of dabbling in fashion in the fashion industry in college, and I started my fashion journey in high school. So yeah, a little bit.
Okay.
Not too much to be taken seriously. It's not one of the like highlights of my adult journey, but it was, you know how we always think we're gonna do something and we're like, yeah,
Yeah.
we're gonna do that. The next thing you know, we're
Doing something else.
doing porn. We're just like, wow.
Complete 180, but that's great. So there you
Yeah.
go. There's
From fashionista to trans adult performer.
Yeah, I think that, yeah.
Can we ask
Pretty-
a question?
pretty-
When did you transition?
I started transitioning about a decade, actually not a decade ago, almost a decade ago.
Okay.
Mhm. It's 2014 or it's 2024. And 2015 is when I like started like looking into like everything. And then like by 2016, I was like taking hormones and living my life. Well, I always was living my life the way that I'm living it now, but like as far as like in public or just like, you know, walking down the street, I was kind of like secluded. But then I
Sure.
just was like, you know, screw it. I'm gonna go out and this is who I am. And that was like around like 2016. So almost a decade.
Good for you.
so how I
Thank
mean
you.
how freeing was that?
Yeah.
When you finally just said, fuck it, I don't care what people think, and that's the way everyone should live their lives.
Well, honestly, I never cared what people thought. It was more so like a responsibility. Oh, well, this imaginary responsibility and loyalty to like my family, to present myself in a way that would make them comfortable. Like, you know, like since I was younger until up until the time I transitioned, I was always like considered like feminine. I'd get in trouble for being this way or being that way. You're not supposed to act this way, you're not supposed to act that way. And then like, but I'm not even around anyone. It's literally who I am. Like, imagine yourself being like in a room and you're just being who you are. And then every now and again, someone comes in and that's not how you're supposed to be. And it's just like, how should you be? You know?
Right.
So for a while, I kept like, I just presented myself in a way that made me palatable for my family because I love them and I respect them. But then one day I think I had to like do like a family event and I'm all like, putting on the pieces to make them feel comfortable. And I had like this total anxiety attack. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna be who I am, and I'm gonna also be a whore. I kind of just like fuck it, you know? But yeah, it was very free, very freeing.
Not where I thought that was going.
I didn't either. Nope. But
Well, I mean, I didn't either, but I was just like, you know, I'm so free, I'm so liberated, and
So
here
you,
I
you
am.
so you dove
I've
in.
only been
Nope, go
I
ahead.
didn't. Well, so I've only been in the adult industry as far as mainstream about 15 months, and
Right.
I've dabbled in like solo work. So I wasn't like I just ran into like the adult. I didn't transition and start into adult, but I did start my transition, and then I just felt so free that I was like, wow, I'm free, and I just had like a lot of fun. I remember those the first couple of months of my transition. It was kind of like a lot, you know. I just focused on myself. Yeah.
Sowing some wild oats at the time, just going crazy and
Yeah. Just like being free. I think I had like a liberated moment, a 60s moment within my own self. It was just
I
like
would
a
imagine,
free love moment. Yeah.
yeah,
It was a really fun time. I
yeah.
was in the Bay Area as well too.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah.
So it
Yeah, I
worked
was in
out.
the East.
So
Yeah, I was in the East Bay Area.
did you know as a child? When I mean,
Yeah.
at what
Yeah.
age you knew?
Always. Yeah,
Yeah.
always. So when I was younger, they used to give me like basketballs and I fucking hated it. I'm like, why do you guys keep doing this? And like I love the Spice Girls. I love Britney Spears. I knew what I related to at a young age. I knew what I was not supposed to. And then every time I remember like this one, any show about like popular girls and teenage drama, I related to it so much. So I just knew. Not I didn't it wasn't like the media that was like, oh, I want to be like that. It was more so like, yeah, girl, I feel you, girl. And I was like, wait, I relate to this.
Yeah.
So it was at a young age. It was at a really, really young age. I remember one time I got in trouble and my family was like, you're in trouble for doing this and you're in trouble for doing that, blah, blah, blah. And then I remember my cousin chiming in, yeah. And every time we play house, he's the mom. And I'm like, so it's just like, oh my God, what was the point of that? So basically, like, I always was like feminine and like feminine presenting. I think that I didn't really have like a lot of people within my community have references and they have like peers and people around them to help navigate their journey. And I actually did not have anyone around me to navigate my journey. So it was kind of like and I also didn't have the resources at the time in the West Coast because the West Coast is different from the East Coast. I feel like in the East Coast, there's a lot of community. In the West Coast, I didn't feel like there was as much community available for me.
Okay.
And so I kind of just like went on my journey on my own. So yeah, it was like a trial and error type of thing. And I think that, of course, you know, the way things are now, which has started really happening around the beginning of my transition. So I did start seeing a lot of references in the last so many years. But growing up, there was no reference. And I knew that I wasn't like, I didn't feel like I was like gay because I didn't relate to like, I love gay men, but I didn't relate to gay men in a sexual sense. I feel like, and sexuality is so skewed. It's just, I don't know. So I think that the easiest thing to be is straight. It really is. It really is. You just, it's so easy.
It's crazy to me that it's crazy to me that there are specific words to label the people that we have sex with. I don't understand why we need words like straight and gay and bi and sex is sex.
I feel like that too. I feel like society needs. I feel like we as a society, we have to have a label for everything because we're seeking understanding at all times. We need to understand it. So there is a label, but I think that intercourse is for procreation, and then past that, I mean, it's a free for all. Do what you want to do, but you know,
hence your fun time.
Yeah, I mean that's how they did it in ancient times. It's all over there.
Exactly. Right. There was no concept of gay at that point.
And there was it wasn't. And I think I mean, I don't want to get into like Grecian and all that. Like, no, Alexander the Great, it's all documented. If you want to go look, you know, if anyone wants to look and see what I'm talking about, all documented. But it was like a rite of passage. It's kind of like I mean, that's weird as well, coming from, you know, but they probably think it's weird for us to have like a stick up our ass and like, you're straight, gay, this, that.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, you know, we live in a really fucked up time.
Well,
it is changing though. Times are changing and things becoming more and more, as we're finding out, you know, just by talking with people, it is opening up quite a bit, as I would imagine you've noticed.
Well, yeah, we are on a very progressive road forward. Despite our surroundings, we as a community, we're moving forward. Minds are open, and even if minds aren't open, boundaries are being established, and respect is still, you know, being given. So I think that we are growing.
Well, I think that's the biggest thing is the respect for others. That somebody may say, I don't understand and I don't get it, but it doesn't matter. I don't have to. So as long as there's respect and kindness, that's all that matters.
That's exactly right. And that's always the biggest priority with dealing with any, you know, human being, is like being respectful. As long as they're not hurting you or your family or the people you love, you know, everyone deserves some respect.
Absolutely.
They do. So do you have brothers and sisters?
I have like 7 sisters. no brothers.
Oh,
Mhm.
You didn't stand a
So you-
chance.
I didn't stand a chance. So
You
we
you fit right in.
and I fit right in. Yeah, I fit right in. I do. I do. So yeah, I
Yeah.
have one younger sister, and I have one younger sister, and the rest of them are all older than me.
Okay. Okay. So they obviously had a
But
big,
I have
big.
cousins that are like brothers, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So how was the reaction when you first, said, "I fuck it, I'm just going to be me," to a family reunion or wherever I'm sorry, family get together you kind of mentioned.
Like a family reunion type of a deal. I think it was kind of like, just like with your fashions, just wear who you are confidently. And it was more so like, oh, who's that? And then they're like, oh, that's such and such. And they're like, oh, okay. Some people wanted to like laugh, but like, I mean, what are you really laughing at? Are you laughing because you're uncomfortable? Or are you laughing because I'm a joke? Because I look at myself and I know damn well there's nothing funny about me. So it off and that's that. So the reaction was pretty whatever. I'm not really like the type of person that really cares. So as long as you keep it really cute, I really don't care what you think, like because I can't control what you think. So as long as I put my best foot forward, carry myself in a way that is, acceptable, I don't really care, yeah. But my family's always been like really supportive. I mean, I've always been like really gay and feminine. I used to love the Spice Girls, and like it really wasn't that big of a surprise to them. It's not like I was like an Olympic gold medalist and I had a family. It literally wasn't that. Like I never had I think I've had more sex with women within my career than I ever did within my whole life. It was something I never thought that I would do. Thankfully, I had practice right before I went mainstream with a couple. And so like it's kind of like fine. But like before that, it was like just like, I've always been like who I was.
Yeah.
And I put a label on it for them. Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that was my next question. Go ahead.
No, go for it. What was your next question?
I was gonna say I would lead into it's like how many of them said, yeah, we all knew.
I mean, all of them. That's what. So in the beginning of my transition, when I was like really awkward, they got along with me better. It was easier. They got along with me. Oh, we always knew. But then I feel like as I got like hotter, there became like there's it got a little bit not weird. Like there's tension. There's no tension, but it just got weird. Like, okay, she is like not only transitioning, but now she's like hot, and so now we don't like her. So me and my family have a weird relationship right now, but I've been doing this for over a decade. So sometimes like my counselor was like, my counselor straight up asked me, do you think it's because you're transitioning? I'm like, no, I've been transitioning for so long. It's like, it's because I'm hot now.
It's like, they're not mad, they're jealous.
Well, right.
They are jealous.
Yes.
Okay.
And I've had to come to terms with myself. Sometimes people can be a little, jealous at first. I feel like it was like in the beginning, it was like, hey, queen, yes. And it was all this empowerment, and I like look a total fool. And now like I'm all hot, and it's like,
stop it.
We're never gonna be able to come to the and I'm like, oh my God, like what and it's always like trying to make me feel like I did something. I did nothing. I did nothing but develop and continue to grow myself. And that's what happens. Like as you grow and build yourself up, people who don't fit into your life or where you're headed, they fall up on their own. So unfortunately, it was a lot of my family. Oops.
Well, you seem happy, and that's all that matters.
I am happy.
Yes, absolutely.
So I have lots of sisters, and they have lots of children, and I think that my main branch of my family, as long as we continue to have that support and unity, I can't control what my third or fifth cousin thinks or does. Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
I don't even know my third and fifth cousin, so.
Well, I know mine.
Yeah.
They know me.
They watch my material. They watch my content.
Yeah. Well, hopefully not. I don't know. Honestly, when I put my content into the world, and I barely talk about it. The only time I talk about it is in these type of settings.
Sure.
I never talk about it like walking down the street or anything like that. So it's not something that I think about. It's like just like I just did a gangbang and just posted it, and now I'm gonna go eat breakfast and not even think about it again.
Well,
but you started. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say you should be talking about it because you've been into it for 15 months and you've won numerous awards already. So not only are we talking to an adult performer, we're talking to an award-winning adult, best newcomer at the AVNs, best trans newcomer at the AVNs. That's quite the honor.
Yeah.
It is it's really, really big honor. It's really mind-blowing.
Yeah, that's like the biggest award you could get.
It is the biggest award I can get. Within the span of my career, it is the biggest award that I can get. I mean, I wasn't going to get Trans Performer of the Year, right?
For first year out of the gate, you'd have pissed some people off.
I know. I mean, they would have been like, "Whose dick did she suck?" They're already wondering who. They're already wondering. I'm like, "Hello,
everybody's.
We're all sucking dick. I'm sucking everyone's dick. Like, there's no specific dick to be sucked. You just gotta suck dick, and hope they notice. I don't know how it works." I've also been asked if I'm an industry plant because of everything. The momentum has been so quick. And some people are like, are you an industry plant? Whose dick did you suck? Did you pay for your nominations? And it's just like, no, when I went into what I'm doing, I went into it with my best foot forward and with a very open mind. I never said no. I always said yes. And even if I'd never done anything before, I always said yes and just explored. And I think that set me apart from a lot of my other peers. And I mean, the work speaks for itself. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you should be proud of it.
I actually am proud of it. On my vision board, there's a sentence that says, "Be proud of what you do." So anytime someone asks like what I do and I want to lie and say like, "Oh, I'm a consultant," I say, I'm an adult entertainer. And if they want to get into it, like, "Oh, are you an OnlyFans person?" Because then I feel like there's nothing wrong with being an OnlyFans creator, but I think that it's a saturated market. And so when people hear that, they just think that you're just like everyone else trying to get into OnlyFans and make some money. And I'm like, oh no, baby, I'm an award-winning adult performer. I do mainstream. Oh, well, what company do you work with? All of them. Pick
all
one.
of them. Yes.
Yeah. Bam. There you go.
Yeah.
All of the big ones.
But you mentioned years ago you did start with some solo stuff. Was that on OnlyFans or some other camera things?
It was with Groovy. With Groovy. I met Buddy Wood, who's a producer with Groovy, on a social media site a long time ago, and he invited me to work for not work for the company, but shoot with the company, and so I did 2 solos, and they invited me back several times to do a hardcore performance, but I always was so scared and nervous to really do that. I always felt like you do that and it's there, it's always going to be there. It honestly didn't align with not who I was at the time, but how I felt inside. I just didn't feel like I was confident, to be honest, with doing a hardcore scene at the time. So I did the solos and then I did my own thing. I don't think that we could, I mean,
you can say whatever you want. We don't care.
Oh, we can? Okay, so I was an escort forever. Just escorting away. And then the guys kept saying like, "Oh, you're hot. You should be a porn star." And I'm like, I was considering myself a porn star at the time. I mean, I did 1 solo and I'm like, "Oh, I'm a porn star." But I realized really I'm not a porn star, but I have done some adult work. And maybe I will explore doing it again. And so 2 T's ago, because now it's been 2 T's, the T Awards. I went to the T Awards in 2023, and I just went there to like network, and then I end up reconnecting with Buddy and Steven, and then they invited me to do solo. And at that point, I've grown into myself. I'm more confident. I feel like I've like grown into my power at this point. And I'm like, what? I do want to do a hardcore scene. And Buddy's like, "Bam, let's do it." So we did it. And then they asked me to do another one. And then from that point on, other girls were asking me to collab with them. I was getting a little bit of momentum within our little branch, our transgender community. And so the people are asking me to collab, and I started collabing with different people. And the next thing you know, Joey Silvera from Evil Angel reached out. And I got my first, like, not big major studio thing, but I do think that's like a big major break, right? To branching out of like the trans umbrella, or like the Black Tea Girls and Groovy sites, and going into Evil Angel. I think that was like a pretty big thing. And I got
a big jump.
It was a big jump, yeah. And then I got to work with trans angels, and also go out of the country and work for trans angels, which is like a really
Ooh.
Yeah, I got to Canada and work for Trans Angels. I fucked all day and all night every day, and by the time I got no time to do anything. I went to the museum the day that I got a late flight so I could spend the day doing something, and I went to the museum. But that was like I and had some poutine, but it was an exotic fun trip. But I was like filming every day, and they were working.
They were working you hard.
Do you get sick of fucking?
No, it's like breathing.
Okay.
You know, people always you don't have to watch out.
Do
for
you
me.
get sick of fucking?
No,
Okay.
But I don't.
Okay.
I don't fuck all day every day for 2 straight days. I'm saying, dude.
Oh, it was 4
straight days.
It was, so I think that out of the 4 partners that I had, only one of them was like a little. The sex was great, but I think the personality after the sex was kind of like, oh my god. But other than that, like, I love to have sex. It's like shaking hands. People always ask me, like, oh, how do you have sex with people? And like, it's such a sacred thing. And it is like a sacred thing. Like, if you are a person who lays with someone and it's so sacred, don't ever lose that. Right. To me, it's just like, hey, Mark. Hey, Ben. Hey, Paul.
Let's go.
High five. Let's fuck.
So yeah.
And then it's like, and then you get that occasional, oh wow, Paul's grip was really strong. I remember that. But other than that, it's just like the handshake. Other than that, it's just like a handshake. It's like breathing. And I think that is like I'm so, what is that called? Like a hedonist.
A hedonist, yeah.
Hedonistic. That's not a bad word, right?
It is not. Absolutely not. If I mean, I'm not a religious guy, but if God didn't want us to have a bunch of sex, he wouldn't have made it feel so good, right? So
also too, I love to have sex, but I advocate and I always make sure to have safe sex. And it's not just like I'm on a drug bender and I'm fucking everyone. It's like, like I'm hot, you're clean, I'm clean. We're happy. It's like a controlled environment. And that's why I like porn more than just like, that's why I honestly love porn so much, because it's like a controlled environment where you can explore those things that you want to explore and know that everyone is doing the things that you need to do to be protected, because you want to have fun and you can have fun, but you have to also be realistic. I mean,
the people you're fucking are cleaner than I mean, they're clean. You guys get tested all the time. When we go out to the bars,
2 weeks, right?
We go out to the bars, we have no idea.
Yeah, and then and then in the real world, I'm like, oh, when did you get tested? Oh, I'm clean. Oh, okay. When did you get tested? Oh, I get tested on January 2nd every year. Okay, well, babe, it's July.
Right.
Like I've been tested like 1,000 times since then. Oh, right. It's because you have sex. If you have sex with one person only, you don't know how many people they've had sex with and how many people they've had sex with. And here's the list of this and that. I don't know. I have learned that people who it's just sexual health and sexual education is kind of skewed and limited outside of people who are in sex work, unless you're just fucking or you're a swinger or something like that. If you're not living an alternative lifestyle, it's kind of like skewed. Like I feel like it's not a problem. Ignorance is bliss.
Yeah,
a lot of people have it. That's for sure.
Exactly.
So now that you were that transition to into a bigger jump into the bigger studios, was it a big, huge difference with the long days of filming and photographs and?
So each studio is different. Some studios want you to do several positions in several scenes, and they want you to fuck, they want you to stop, they want you to take photos, and they want you to keep going. Other studios, they don't take any photos at all. They just take stills from the video. And other studios provide makeup and hair, and other studios don't. So each studio has been different. Okay. The only thing that I feel like I had to get used to was just fucking in front of someone, not just someone, but like a group of people, because they're talking about whatever they ate last night. They're talking about this. They're talking about this. and you know, and we're supposed to be. It's a production, and people don't see that. People would just think that there's a camera just floating around and people are just in the room having sex. It's really a lot to make it look natural, comfortable, and you know, like there's not a million people around you.
Yeah.
So
was it hard to relax with all those people around you, or?
No, I don't want to sound like a pervert, but I pick someone in the room that I think is hot, and I'm just like, ooh, they're gonna watch me have sex, and it turns me on.
Oh, well,
Strategy. You
Yeah,
gotta do what you gotta do, right?
Ooh,
That's perfect.
My secrets.
just thank goodness that every shoot you have someone hot. That's all.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, who doesn't want to watch people have sex, right?
Amen to
That's
that.
what I noticed. And I used to be so uncomfortable. You know, shout out to Joel, someone, a performer. We were on set for a set one time, and it was the beginning of me working with major studios, and I was like a little nervous. And he was all like, you don't think it's hot that everyone's gonna watch you have sex? And I was like, no, because I'm just so shy. And he was all like, I'm a shy girl, and I just don't know, you know, if they're gonna be comfortable. Because I always go into everything with the idea that they're uncomfortable or unseasoned, because I just rather be like that than just, you know. Yeah. And so he was all like, oh baby, if they're here, they like it. And so when he told me that, and then he also told me to give a little purr like Eartha Kitt, and I don't think I've stopped since. So shout out to Joel, someone. He really helped me open up on
there
set.
You go.
And that was a Catwoman reference there.
Well, yeah, he was like he literally told me exactly what I should do. He was like, oh, you should do this and do this, and he was like, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to. And that was like a really fun set. And I think that for most of my sets before this set, I was having a hard time finishing, like, and they're like, oh, it's okay. But that set I did finish, no problem, because it was just like, oh wow, I'm so into just, I'm like a voyeur now. I just love knowing. I love knowing that you guys can go look at my scene if you guys want to. And I love knowing that they're watching it as it's going down. And I feel like I'm just like a rock star on stage.
Well, since you love it so much, yeah, we've seen you do a lot of things.
Thank you. Good.
Yeah.
What is everything you guys have seen me do? Are you guys liking my girl content or my what kind of content do you guys?
We didn't watch the whole Cowgirl. We saw the previews for the three Cowgirls.
That does look like a damn fun scene though.
So that was a fun scene. And now that you guys mentioned that scene, that was like a really special scene to me, because first of all, I love Brittany Cade and I love Jade Venus. And also, I don't know if you guys know the history of the Best Trans Newcomer Award, but I believe that it's only been given out 3 times. And I think it's only been given out to Brittany, me, and Jade. Don't quote me, but I do believe that it's a fairly new award, and it's only been given out 3 times. So I felt like that was like a special production, and it was pretty hot.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
Shout out to Trans Angels.
The last 3 award winners. That's pretty. That's special. That's kind of a.
It was a special. I hope that the fans appreciate it. I was looking at some of the comments and stuff like that. It's a mixed bag, but you can't please everyone. I know that I had fun, and I know me and the girls had fun.
Look, if they're taking the time to comment, I don't care what the comment says, they enjoyed it.
Yeah.
They
enjoyed it.
They just don't want to admit that they enjoyed it, and that's why they're commenting that way. They fucking loved it.
They loved it. I loved it.
You have to bring up your scene with Brittany Snow, because I've been a fan of hers for quite a while.
Oh, a Brittany Cade or Amber Snow?
Amber Snow, I apologize. Amber Snow.
Big fan.
Amber Snow.
Yeah. Fuck that one up.
there goes Amber Snow coming on a podcast.
Amber, I'm so sorry. Amber, I'm so sorry. You just mentioned Brittany.
No, it's okay. No, yeah.
We'll edit that out. But I've been drinking, all right.
Yeah.
But I have been a fan of Amber Snow's for a while. Because
she's really beautiful.
She is, isn't she?
Very, very encouraging.
Yeah. So was one of your first non-male or trans to be in a scene with you?
No. My first scene with a girl for mainstream would be Valera Castile.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know that name?
No, not as much as
this guy knows every name. Whenever we get these names coming up, I'm like, oh, he knows this one too. He knows this one too. And whenever the podcast goes to follow him, I'm always like, oh, look, he already follows him.
She has purple hair.
Oh, I love her already.
She's known for squirting.
Yep. All right, we'll be looking her up.
Yeah.
And that was my first on camera moment with not only a cis female performer, also a squirter, and she squirted 3 times. And I was so nervous because you never know how your body's gonna react in these types of settings. I love men, and I love to be like a passive pleasing person to like a dominant guy. So when I have to like be, not when I have to, but when I'm in the situation where I'm with a woman, I'm not exactly sure where the roles go. And then but she was so aggressive and nasty and assuring, and she made it really easy to maneuver. So especially
good for her. Yeah.
Yeah, she was really pretty.
Shout out
And
to
I
her.
barely read this, and I read the script before I arrived, but I misread the name of my co-performer. So I thought it was gonna be someone else. So I was preparing for something else. And when I walked into the set and I saw her and she gave me a hug, I'm like, oh my God, I'm not sure why there's another performer on set, but cool. And next thing I know, I was like, oh, I'm gonna be fucking a girl. But it was fun. It was so hot. So fun. It really was.
Kind of a quick switch at the end. Kind of it could have been a heck of a turn on to be like, ooh, now I'm going to do this.
Yeah, it was fun. I loved it. I loved it a lot.
So let's just quick touch on that. Those scripts. How is there a lot to them, or is it kind of like you walk in the door, say something, or is there really planned out verbiage?
It depends on the script. So some scripts are more like of a vibe, like you're partying and you give a look and you're, and the other scripts are more like it's intricate, like you were on a date. I did a scene recently where I was on a date, or I wasn't on a date, but I was waiting for a date and she was taking forever, Casey Calvert, and she was taking forever to show up. And she shows up and we're like having like an argument, and then it skips to the date scene, and then it skips to us coming back and we're all laughing and, hee hee ha ha, and oh, we're horny, and we had to lead up to it. And so, yeah, there have been like extensive scripts and more like just like a vibe and a look and an innuendo. Yeah. So it just depends on like the person who, it depends on the company and the person who's writing it. But there have been some really crazy ones and some just like whatever ones. Like I did one scene with Trans Angels where it was just like we're wearing pink and we're dancing around, and that was like the vibe. And then I did another scene where I'm washing my car and a guy is jogging and he is jacking off, and then I catch him, and then he asked to give me oral, and I say yes, and then my mother pulls up, and it was really extensive. Yeah, my mother pulls up, and then I have to get oral behind the car while I'm talking to her about the new pool boy, which is leading into the next scene. And so then I had to go in the backyard, and there's the new pool boy, which is not even the guy I just fucked in the garage. Yeah, so this was the Canada production. So yeah, It just depends on the project.
Sure. Some projects are freaks.
Oh yeah, they are freaks, and
they use maple syrup for lube.
I love them. I love them, and I had so much fun. We were having a production in the country, and it wasn't like in the public. It was a back road, and we were like in the back of the property, but you can still see the road from where I was at, and I was naked, and I was like, oh, is it gonna be okay? Because in America, that wouldn't have been fine. And they were like, oh, it's fine. And I was like, okay.
Yeah, for sure.
The French Canadians.
What's that?
The French Canadians. I love the French Canadians. Yeah.
Good for them.
That makes sense.
So
the Europeans are definitely a
little freer.
a little freer than we are. Yeah.
That's for sure. So what do you, if you could write a scene, what scene would you want to perform next?
So I have one that's on my mind, but I don't want to go on record and say it.
Okay.
Because I don't want no one to do it. But my secondary scene that I would like to write would be a scene where
Two
I am.
podcasters are interviewing you, and no, go ahead. I'll let you rest.
Oh. I was like, well, that sounds like hot. Like I'm interviewing like a podcast. I'm interviewing podcasters who have seen trans porn but have never like experienced it firsthand. And we're asking all these steamy hot questions. And the next thing you know, truth and dares being played. And the next thing you know, it's a wild podcast orgy.
I think we can pull that off.
Yeah. And which will make it even funner, and you guys can take advantage of the opportunity, is you guys can make a whole series of it. Now you guys are just having a moment with all your guys' guests. I think that there's podcasts that do that.
I was gonna say, I think Adam 22 has that taken care of already.
He's kind of got it nailed down, but there's always room for more.
What a fucking genius that guy is. Come on my podcast, then we talk about Jesus Christ.
That is what they do, right? Yeah. That is, They do, I like their podcast. I think that they do several different types of podcasts. My friend was just on the podcast.
Yeah.
Okay. Have you been on any other podcasts? I couldn't find any.
Yeah, I have. I've been on several podcasts. I've been on Webster's podcast. I've been on the Bikini Report.
Oh yeah.
I have been on recently. I did a Cam Life podcast, which was my first in-person podcast. And I did that one during XBiz. I think that if you just Google Leilani Li interview, some will pop up.
They will pop up.
Yeah. So I've been on a few.
Okay.
Not and the Happy Hour podcast.
Oh. Okay.
But I think that they disbanded recently to take a little break.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe the footage isn't out there.
They said after you, they couldn't go on anymore.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, we played this really fun game, and they were supposed to put me back on. I did a really good job. I was looking forward to that. So hopefully he does reinstate his podcast. Give me just 1 second.
Yeah, no problem.
My doggy.
Oh, that's all right.
Oh, okay. What do you have?
I have a Doberman, and I have a Pomeranian and Papillon mix, and then I have a Husky, but she's not with me right now.
Okay, I was not seeing Doberman. That one got me.
Really? You
They're
guys want to see her?
They're beautiful dogs.
Yeah.
Let me see if she comes, because she gets a little.
Yeah, no, that's all right. We've definitely had dogs on the podcast before.
Come here, baby. Come here. Come here.
Yes, the Dobermans they're just so sleek and
they're majestic.
Muscle and they're fun to watch run.
Yeah, all of them. We used to have when we were as a kid. We had them. Our neighbors had them.
Oh, okay.
Beautiful. Oh. Hi, buddy.
He definitely looks like he does not want to be here.
She is like a little frantic around like big objects, like camera. Okay. Yeah, so that's her.
It's like, Mama, you're the one who goes on camera, not me.
Yeah, she's like always in the other room on doing my solo. She's like, oh my God, what is she doing now?
Yeah,
so that's my girl stick.
Very pretty dog. What's her name?
Her name is Six.
Six? S-I-X?
Yeah. Nice. Yeah. Yes, like the number. So I had a company. Well, I have a company, and before I got into the adult industry, I was developing a I created and developed a boutique called a women's clothing boutique called Six Muse.
Okay.
Six Muse, and I had got her around the same time, so I just named her Six after my company. Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you guys have dogs?
I don't right now, but I have had a lot of dogs in my life, but I don't have one right now.
Yeah.
I was saying to him when you were going to get Six that when I was as a kid growing up, my neighbors had 2 Dobermans, and I just loved the dogs. So
were they nice?
Yeah, they were. They were. The neighborhood was afraid of them, but I've never been afraid. I have an unnatural, just non-fear of dogs. I really don't care. So I was never afraid of them. I was always like, but people are like,
Yeah,
they're mean.
they're not aggressive, but they can be, I think, dominant and trained to be to guard. They're really good guard dogs. But other than like being trained specifically for those types of things, they're really sweet dogs, really sweet, loyal dogs, and they're what you call a Velcro dog, where they need to be around their owner at all times. And when they're around their owner, they like to have like their hind on their owner, touching them and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets some separation anxiety issues at all?
She was recently, but I think that she's gotten a little bit better. And the trick for my baby is to put on smooth jazz when I'm not home. So right before I leave, when I put it on, she literally runs to her bed and lays down because it calms her down. It's so funny. And the way we found this out is that we left her at home one day and we had on Disney Channel, because my other dog likes to watch Disney Channel when she's by herself. And Six was just like, she was making this weird noise. And it was just like, jazz. And we put it on and she immediately shut up and went to bed. And so that's how we realized that she likes smooth jazz.
That's so awesome.
She loves smooth jazz. Yeah. So I love dogs. I really do. They're so fun.
They are, and you cannot beat their loyalty. I mean, it's amazing, right? Isn't it? And
yeah, they are really loyal. Even when you're a shitty person, they're so forgiving. They really are.
Yeah.
Like, it's really sad. When I see guys, or well, not guys, but when I see people who are on the streets and they have a dog, I feel sad for the dog and I still feel sad for the guy. But then I always, feel happy, like, knowing that they have each other, because also dogs can be, like a light for people who are alone. And it could become something that is important to them and a reason for them. And I watch, like, sometimes people, like, really love their dogs, and it'd be the reason that they're even just around. I love dogs.
Yeah, very therapeutic.
Well, yeah, and that was kind of what I was thinking is, I don't know, have you had dogs your whole life?
I have had dogs, on and off. When I was younger, I had some dogs. And when I got older, I wasn't in a stable position to keep dogs. So I had, like, dogs here and there. But then I told myself I'm going to stop getting them because it's so hard to get them and only have them for so long. Mm-hmm. And then, never know what happened to them when you don't have them anymore. And then recently with the dogs that I have now, I've actually had them the longest that I've ever had any animal. So yeah, off and on I've had dogs. Never like the dogs I have now.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I was just wondering if you had mentioned before how you really didn't have you kind of did things on your own, came out on your own and conquered it by yourself. So I didn't know if the dogs helped you during that time.
I didn't have an emotional support pet.
I wasn't thinking that. This. Okay.
When I first started, that's what they are. They're emotional support pets. When I first started my transition and I was on my own and I was, like, navigating the world, one of my ex-boyfriends dog had puppies, and he gave me one of them, which is one of the dogs that I still do have, and she's gonna be 10 years old in October. Nice. So yeah, and I told you I've been, like, on my journey for, like, almost a decade or so.
Yeah.
So that's a good question, and the answer actually is yes. Now that I think about it, I've had a dog with me my whole little journey. Yeah, and it's so funny because I remember when we were just, like, traveling on Greyhound and I had to sneak her in the Greyhound. And I'm not where I want to be in life, but I'm doing way better than having to sneak my dog in the Greyhound. And so when we're driving on the road, we're having road trips and I'm driving in the car and she's in the front seat and she's just, like, chilling and laughing. I just always wonder if she remembers when I had to sneak her on the Greyhound. I'd be like, you better be quiet, because seriously, it was a lot. And we'd have to go. It was a lot. I love her. It's really special, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's cool to have a dog that's been with you for that long and been through so much with you.
Yeah. And you, like, literally change. Like, you not only do you, like, transition, but you transition, like, your mindset and the way that you live, and it's, like, so many different changes.
Yeah.
It's like that. It's like that. I think it's like a classic story, right? Like, the first child gets all the bullshit. And then the younger child is, like, the one that everything's perfect and they have this perfect life. And, like, the older child's like, you don't even really know mom because he was lucky.
Yeah. Total different beast at
I'm
that
the
point.
Greyhound.
Yep, for sure.
And what's their name?
So I have 6, and then I have Masika, which is the Pomeranian, the 10-year-old Pomeranian, and then the husky's name is Stormy, and her name is Stormy because we were leaving. So we found Stormy, and so it was Thanksgiving night, and we were driving back from our family's house back to the Bay Area, and there was a puppy in the middle of the road with her leash chewed off. She chewed it off because huskies do that. And so, and she was just sitting on a puddle. She's such a weirdo. She's so weird. She was just sitting in a puddle in the storm, just sitting there. So I tried to go to her and she ran to a house. And so we went to knock on the door and I asked the people, hey, your dog got out. And they were like, oh, we don't know whose dog it is. It was a storm. And it was the middle of the night. And so my sister, she was drunk. She was like, oh my God, I love her. And so my sister took her home. And then my sister's people were like, we can't have a dog. So the next day she's like, oh, can you just take the dog? And she ended up becoming my dog. I think that's like the best. That's like, so each dog that I got was a different type of way. The first dog that I got, my ex-boyfriend gave it to me as a gift. My second dog, I was browsing Facebook and I saw Six. I saw her. She had just got away from the 4th of July. She ran away because, the fireworks. And she had been in the shelter for 2 weeks. And that's how I got Six. I saw her on Facebook. And then Stormy, she was in the middle of the storm, like standing there. And my drunk sister took her and couldn't keep her. And so then she became my dog. Six was pissed because Six was like, I just got, so I got Stormy 3 months. Six was like, I just got this new life. I'm the baby, and then here comes this fucking husky. Stormy's a lot. She's a lot. She's not here. Not here. She's in the Bay Area with my ex-boyfriend.
Okay.
But it's so funny. But I have 3 babies.
I love that you call him weird, that he's just weird. He's just a weirdo.
Well, you guys have had dogs, right?
Yeah.
So you guys know each dog has a different personality.
Sure.
She's really so quirky. I think quirky is the best word for it. And then she sits, it's like bow-legged, and she just sits there like this. Everything's funny to her. She doesn't take anything seriously. Every dog she ever comes across wants to beat her up. So clearly her personality to even dogs is she's a fucking annoying weirdo. They all want to beat her up. I take her to the dog park, they want to beat her up. Masika and Six, they love her. They do love her, but they're always putting her in check because she's just weird. But enough about pets though.
It is, but it's so funny just to hear you.
I love
go
pets. They're my babies.
They are awesome.
Until I actually have some, these are my babies.
Well, I don't think it's possible to make a smooth transition to I would be remiss if we don't talk about we talked about, okay, how do I say? We talked about pieces earlier, fashion pieces. You have a rather nice piece, not fashion, well, maybe fashion, but with transitioning, was there ever a thought of no longer having the piece?
So that's a good question. I think that each trans woman is different on their transitioning journey. And I think that with each woman who is transitioning, they all desire a different outcome. Where I'm at in my journey, where I'm at right now in my journey is that is not something that it's something that I fantasize about, but it's not something that I'm at this moment. Things change all the time, but at this moment, I'm actively seeking an SRS at the moment. I think that building up and defining where I want to go with my transition when I leave the industry and when I leave adult entertainment, that's going to happen one day. But as of right now, it's not something that I am thinking about. And I have peers who are post-op and peers who are also beginning their transition into being post-op. And I support them 100%. And I'm so excited for them. And I cannot wait to be, I can't wait to be there on their, or I love being there through their journeys. And I can't wait to be there for their journeys. But when it comes to my destination when it comes to like that, I'm not exactly sure yet. And I also do think it's also harmful to like the girls to put pressure on them to like have to like, oh, I'm gonna eventually do it or things to that nature. You know, it's just like a whole thing when it comes to like that part. But for me as a performer, and I love every part of my body, and yeah, like I don't know, like I'm not gonna be getting SRS anytime soon. Now in the future, like way future, perhaps I think that anything is possible. You know, I honestly didn't think I would get my breasts done. I was so scared to get them done. Yeah. And I had like a little bit of breasts before I got my breasts done for my hormones. And so I didn't think I was gonna get my breasts done, but I mean, here I am. They're here. So you never know, you know. But as of right now, I love being versatile. I love my sexuality. I love being able to explore in the different opportunity or not opportunities, but the different opportunities that I have to explore and the different options that I have within those opportunities. And so I don't think that right now, thinking from a perspective of sex, that I would want to get an SRS. But in the future, perhaps.
I have to say, and I say this with all due respect, I feel like you removing the piece would be like taking the Mona Lisa off the wall and putting it into the like a closet, never seeing it again. It's,
you know, honestly, that is something that a lot of. So one of my friends.
It's a very impressive piece. You've seen it.
Thank you. It is nice.
Appreciate beauty.
And that's all you've been wanting to say this whole time. You should have just said it. You got a nice piece.
It's beautiful. I love it. You know, when I was, because I'm uncut. So when I was younger, I was really insecure about my body and insecure about different parts of me and stuff like that. But as I've gotten older, I love my body and I love every part of it. And it's okay. It is. I mean, beauty's subjective, but I've heard a lot that it's really nice. And a lot of people that handle it think it's nice. The men and the women and trans girls, they all like it. So
you know, and there's nothing wrong with any part of your body. Anybody he likes a compliment, right? I mean, we all do, regardless of what it is.
Yes, exactly. But you are right. When it comes to transitioning, we always are not transitioning, but when it comes to that part of transitioning, we always have to ask ourselves, will our experience be the same? And the short answer is no. A post-op trans woman and a pre-op trans woman live different experiences. And there are some men who seek out trans women and because they do like that part. And there are some men who I don't know. I don't know.
Sure.
I don't.
There's something for everybody, and that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah,
there's something for everyone. That's the beauty of it. And I'm not on that path right now, and I don't think I'll be on it anytime soon.
Well, you have plenty of time.
When I am on it, I hope that you guys invite me back on so we can talk about the journey.
We will definitely have you back on.
That would be awesome.
Of course. What is next on your you've got these big scenes coming out. We talked about what is the name of the scene with Brittany and it's
hold up or riled up and hoed down.
There we go. There we go.
I remember it was clever.
Well, so next, I have on schedule scenes. I don't want to say. So I'm the type of girl who doesn't like to give it out until it's already been out. I have the next project. The next project that I have coming, that I'm going to be working on is going to be a really good project with a really dear sister. And I'm really excited because I know that this specific project has been a dream of hers. So to be able to be a part of it is a big deal. So that's a project that I have coming up. And then as far as like industry things that I have going on, we have the Urban X Awards coming up on August 25th. So I'm really, really excited about that. And
you've been nominated for two.
Yes, I have been nominated for 2 awards for the Urban X Awards. Yes.
Okay, so that's coming up with Sexiest Trans Star, right? And then Trans Performer of the Year.
Yes, thank you. Yes. And I hope that you guys are voting for me and all your guys' faves daily until August 5th.
Okay. Okay, well, get out there and vote. Absolutely. That's good to know. I wasn't sure if that was a fan vote or
Yeah, it's fan vote. And you guys can vote for me, and you guys can vote for, you guys might see other people that you guys are familiar with, other guests you guys have had, or just even people that you guys are fans of, that you guys might want to make sure that you guys get out there and vote. Your guys' votes definitely count. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so I have that up. And other than that, I just dropped a scene with a content creator named Tiffany Time. We did a girl scene. We had a fun time fucking, and then her husband walks in and we're so scared and he joins us. So that's a project I have going on.
It's funny how that works
That
out.
poor guy.
I've never seen a porn where the guy gets mad and leaves. They always seem to join in.
So maybe I need to have that as one of my productions.
Right.
The guy gets mad and doesn't join, and we're like, oh well, we'll fuck anyway.
We'll just keep going.
Like, that's why I have that.
But
And I
then
have
you cut to
lots of-
his scene and he's fucking somebody else. And
yeah,
then
that's hot. Yeah.
somehow you all end up together at the pool.
Yeah, and then you do a part 2 where the couple that's cheating on each other, they decide to go to the pool, and lo and behold, the 2 people that they were with is both at the pool, and now they both sneak off to go fuck separately, and then they pull down the curtain and they're both next to each other fucking, and now it becomes an orgy. We just came up with an award-winning scene.
See, now we have a story arc. We have character.
We got everything.
We have character building.
Production.
Yeah.
Podcast sections.
If you ever need writers for these things, you let us know. We can write porn scenes.
We've written them before. We can do it again. We've got ideas. We got ideas.
Maybe you should write me and Amber Snow a new porn scene.
Oh, I would love to. I would love to. I would love to have her on. She would be amazing to
There
talk
you
to.
go. Well, we could have if you hadn't called her Brittany.
Hey, we forgot about that.
I was hoping everybody forgot about that.
Put in a good word for us, Leilani, please.
I definitely will.
I've been drinking.
What have you been doing?
I've been drinking. That's where I.
What do we have coming
yeah.
up? You know, it's weird. I was just saying, this is like the first time in a while. We only have one interview scheduled right now after this one, which is weird because normally we're like a month or 2 booked up, and things have really slowed down for us. So we'll see. We don't know what's next. We'll see.
Okay. Maybe you guys should see about coming to the Urban X Awards and maybe sponsoring and maybe doing a live podcast type of a deal where you get some red carpet footage or something like that.
That's what
if they would have you. Yeah.
We've mentioned going to those as a joke, as getting a press pass. But so you had mentioned earlier you had gone to those to kind of network. Would you recommend it be a good place to network with?
Yeah, I mean, so for like girls, I always like my sisters. Oh, I want to meet a man. Well, what is the man that you like? What kind of man do you like? Okay, where is he going to be at? Okay, so you need to go there. So what is the industry that you guys like? What is your guys' ideal guest for your guys' podcast? Okay, well, you guys need to go to the conventions.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
So I was
That's
like,
true.
I'm a whore. What do I go? Where are the other whores at? The responsible ones. Oh, they're at the Transgender Erotic Awards.
Right?
And that's
Perfect.
where I went.
Dress
And
for the
now
job
I-
you want, right?
Yeah, and now I'm a part of that circle.
Excellent.
So I would love to see you guys with your guys' press passes asking questions and getting out there,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
You guys
thank you
think
for the
about that?
encouragement, because that's, and it kind of goes back to what he was saying before. And that's really what we can do is just, give a platform for people to discuss and tell their stories, not only tell their stories, but their journey. And again, like ask questions so that we all can learn as we go.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I really appreciate you guys creating and providing a platform to do that, like to be lighthearted, open-minded. I love that you guys were not too scared to ask questions, because some of the questions you guys ask, there's nothing wrong with the questions you guys ask, but we live in like a very like what is it, politically correct state of being. So sometimes things are off limits, and I'm not an easily offended person, and I don't want the hard questions, but I don't mind questions that'll make like I love those questions, So I appreciate you guys, and I hope it continue.
Like 100 episodes ago, I don't know that we
wouldn't have.
It's
Nope.
definitely we've grown and we've gotten more
Well, I mean,
comfortable. But we've go ahead.
When you're getting established, you don't want to make sure you're not, like offending or anything too quickly. You want to get comfortable, and then you learn, right? I mean, when we first started, like even when we're like rollerblading, you're gonna trip and fall a couple times. But after you've done it 100 times, you might be able to do that big trick, and you know how to ease into it versus jumping right into it and falling on your face.
Yeah, right.
You know, like yeah.
Well, and it also helps. It helps immensely to have great guests like yourself, who come on and who understand that we're not trying to offend. And if we do ask a question that's offensive, we didn't do it out of, we did it out of just ignorance. So we really appreciate it.
Yeah, of course. Well, in these instances, I think that the best way to educate and to grow and to learn is to ask those types of questions. And if I'm ever offended by anything, I can always say pass. But as I said, I'm not easily offended.
Yeah, we'll try harder next time.
Ooh.
There we go.
For sure. Well, thank you very much. Good luck at the Urban X Awards.
Thank you guys.
Best of luck. Do we want to mention? We would definitely want to let you tell everyone where they can find you.
Absolutely, and where to vote.
So, I am on all social medias. I'm on Instagram as I am Leilani Li, and I'm on Twitter or X as Leilani_Li. You can also find me on OnlyFans as Leilani_Li, and then also on Pornhub as just Leilani Li. And yeah, I have a free OnlyFans as well. It's I love Leilani Li. Just basically, if you want to find me, just Google Leilani Li.
You will be found if you want to be found.
I'll definitely be found. Yeah, and there's nothing. I wish I can pull my shirt and flash you guys, but this dress is pretty long.
Well, you can.
I was gonna say you can. We got all night.
Oh, next time.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
Next time, you guys invite me on again. Hopefully, in a couple months, I'll have new awards and new things to talk about.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes. Absolutely.
Well, you guys.
Thank you so much.
It had such a joy tonight. I appreciate everything.
It was such a joy. I appreciate you guys so much. And I think that I follow you guys on social medias, but just in case, I'll make sure that I am following you guys after this.
Awesome.
We appreciate that.
All right,
bye, guys.
Have a good night.
Good night. Thanks so much.
Thank you for listening. The tavern is closed for now, but we'd love to have you back for more fun next time. Seriously though, get your asses out of here.